Hey, yo, what's up? Yep, it's been a while. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it right now. This video is very unscripted, so if you hear me actuallying or audio cutting, it's probably because I have to go through a lot of my footage to make sure that this video actually makes sense or something. And I was thinking maybe it's not really my place to talk about this topic, but I figured my account's pretty old. I might as well give my unique perspective on the topic. For full transparency, when I joined Roblox, it looked more like this instead of this. So you can argue I'm talking about something that even I didn't really experience firsthand. So the old Roblox aesthetic has been something that's been used for a pretty long time, and it's pretty debatable on what it even is. I mean, would you call Survival the Killers in Area 51 retro slot because it's based off of an old style of game? I mean, yeah, sure you can, but honestly, I don't think anyone cares because we're here to talk about popular games. Like the Residency Massacres, the Retro Nights, Forsaken, fucking Feed Rob. Wait, this game's real? What the fuck? I got this shit. He said fuck it and leave. Alright, let's really get into what I want to talk about before this becomes a 20-minute long video where nothing happens. There are a ton of games that use the old discussion. Fuck. There have been a ton of games that use the old aesthetic, and there's a lot more discussion on whether that's really a bad thing. And I mean, yeah, it's Internet 101, they probably just hate it because it's popular or something, or maybe it's just the current new thing to talk about, but whatever, I'm gonna waste my time and also talk about it. I mean, I've seen some decent points. One that I've seen a lot is it's overused, and I mean, yeah, I kinda see it, but I also kinda don't. Alright, let me explain. It's sort of like when there's a really good song and it gets played on the radio over and over, like you just keep it. Like, yeah, it's a good song, but if they keep fucking playing it, it's gonna become annoying. But what this relates to with the old Roblox aesthetic is that really a problem with the aesthetic, or is that a problem with something else entirely, I mean, I guess, like, how much can you say is that a criticism of the aesthetic itself instead of just being annoyed at having to look at it all the time? I feel like something like this happens all the time. PlayStation aesthetics was really cool for a while, but then people started spamming it and just stopped being super cool, but does that make the aesthetic bad? I don't know. It's kind of up to you at the end of the day, I guess. And another point I see made commonly is saying that's a crutch for bad devs. And I'll be honest, I can kind of vouch for this one. I make games and I use the old aesthetic, and most of the times I use the old aesthetic is because I suck at building and I'm just trying to cover it up. But I mean, you can't really look at a game like Frozen, what's its name? It changed its name. Frozen Soul, Dream Game, same thing, and tell me this person sucks at building or being a game dev. I mean, like, come on, you cannot tell me that, unless you just hate Dream Game, I guess. I think it ends up being sort of like a negativity bias thing. This is Editing Hilo. I just wanted to pop in and say I used the term negativity bias wrong. The term I was looking for was emotional contagion, so yeah, this is what I meant to say. Here's a good example. Weird Strict Dad sucks. Like, that game is just not very fun to play. It uses an old aesthetic and it just feels super uninspired. I feel like it's not this game sucks because it has an old aesthetic. It's more of this game sucks and it has an old aesthetic, therefore old aesthetic is bad. I mean, look at this. Look at this absolute noob dev using free models in his game. Clearly another classic Roblox aesthetic crutch dev. I mean, come on, man. I guess it's sort of a perspective thing too, because sure, it covers up a bad dev, maybe, I guess, but my response to that is if a dev's just not very good, the game's probably going to be bad no matter what. I mean, at the end of the day, a good presentation can't really hold up for a bad game, I guess. Sort of what I think about it, at least. And where I end up not really getting it is the games actually use the aesthetic for good purposes. Like Forsaken has it built into the lore or whatever. I don't know. I don't play Forsaken. I'm not a loser. Or Jim's Computer. Yeah, I know. Jim's Computer is kind of a fun game to make fun of nowadays, but it used the aesthetic very well. It was really good at capturing the era of the time. But for every game that's good, you have another game that just uses the aesthetic because it's the most popular thing right now, and it causes everything to get just not as good by comparison, I guess, in the eyes of some people. Also, I just want to say I'm not trying to disparage any first-time game devs. If you want to make a game, and it's one of your first games, you want to use an old Roblox aesthetic because you like it, go ahead. That's completely fine. The games that really piss me off are the ones that are just bad, and by devs who clearly know what they're doing, but they're not trying to make good games. Those are the ones that really make me mad. I guess what I really have to say is I'm not sick of the old aesthetic in Roblox horror games. I'm just sick of bad Roblox horror games, which we all know is at no shortage nowadays. It's just all over the place. So I guess ultimately this video wasn't really made to say, actually the Roblox aesthetic for old games is good and you're stupid for disagreeing. No, it's nothing like that. I mean, it could be. This video is pretty aimless, but that was never the purpose of the video. I guess it was just to sort of talk about something that I've seen and give my perspective on it as someone who's been on the site for such a long time, and I've seen all sorts of horror games go through this website. Alright, this video's starting to get too long. New upload in a year, or two, I don't know. Don't get your hopes up.